And as we're here today, is there a particular topic that you would like to speak on as we open this channel today?
Yes, there are many topics in which we would like to touch on today. The topics in which we would like to discuss today have to do with the energetic changing of your world and Earth, the topic of attachments,
and why is this topic important?
as the collective is awakening in this time of ascension, in this transitional period, it is necessary to understand the ways in which things will change for you or how things may begin to appear. With this growing energy, there is a mass awakening happening, and many different abilities are coming online for people who may feel lost in space and time. Ones in which will feel very intense and almost like they are bombarding them with information as well as experiences. And it is easy for one to get caught up in the anxiety and fear in which these changes may bring, but we say to try as much as you can to relax into the moment and find your grounded center, as this is all taking place in the perfect timing.
And why is this important to bring up attachments with these abilities that are coming online?
There are many barriers for those who are becoming, we will say, awakened to new energies and new information, and thus you are seeking clarification and understanding in your world of what you are experiencing, which may come across as paranormal and energetic in nature. And so understanding this is important. Many of you are living with, we will say, energetic attachments that are siphoning your energy, ones in which keep you fatigued and confused. As your energy increases and you awaken to new energies and understandings, these attachments, we will say, become more known, and knowing how to remove them and what happens after you remove them is important.
And so how does someone begin to remove these attachments once they become aware of them?
We will say that it is important not to fear an attachment or something that may be drawing your energy, as it is a natural part of your world and experience. These attachments, so to say, come in to teach you something. You have guides and different angels and beings that are here to help you. And many will say, well, if I am being guided, if I believe in a higher power, how can this happen to me? And we will say, this is for your soul growth. And your guides are allowing this to happen. And not at the detriment of you, but at the help of you. These attachments are here to teach you about your own soul power, your strength as a being, and the ability to take control and sovereignty over your life and your energy. They're only here to serve you as teachers on your path forward. Many of you are stepping into abilities that will be healing in nature for the earth and the collective of beings that may need them. As we have spoken before, energy has increased, and people incarnating in this time are energetically different. And so they need different energy frequencies in order to heal wounds that they have come here to learn about. And many of you are awakening to these abilities and gifts. And these attachments are serving as experiences and lessons in how to, we will say, navigate the energy frequencies that are coming online.
And so how do you recognize when they're there How do you know if you have them?
This is why it is important to get in tune with your own energy frequency, which is why discernment and protection are important during these times. And we will go back to saying to learning how to build a foundation for yourself that is strong, a structure that is supportive, one in which you will recognize things that are coming in. But many will notice these as slight, we could say pings, if you will, of that something is off. Your intuition is saying, maybe this isn't the food that I ate, because this comes up time and time again around this specific area.
And so what can you do once you recognize something is off? How do you begin addressing this?
The connection with your higher self will help you with this as well. One in which you can connect in and we will say download information in order to know what to do in order to remove these things. You have to sit long enough in order to receive information, however. Understand how to tap into your own inner knowing. And this may seem daunting now as you listen to it, but we will say it is not as hard as your mind is making it to be. Knowing that you are a powerful being in this creation, and knowing that you can use creation to your ability, and that nothing is off limits. And so tapping into your own knowing and asking if it makes you feel better, your higher self or guides to show you ways in which you can remove this. And using your imagination as it should be used to its greatest good.
And so, let's say someone is having a difficult time removing something from themselves because they're not really getting a whole lot of information, even though they try. What can they do to begin working on clearing something like this?
There are different light frequencies in which one can use in order to clear different attachments. And we will say imagining whatever light resonates with you permeating through your body and pushing out anything that is not of that frequency. Choosing color frequency that is in alignment with your soul, the things that you feel pulled to. Some may be more grounding and some may be more uplifting, but there are certain attachments that cannot survive in those types of frequencies. And you will say, how can I clear something with a color that makes no sense? And no, it does not make sense to your logical mind. However, the energy frequency of different aspects of your reality are important. And just because you cannot see them with your physical eyes does not mean that they do not work. And so tuning into the different color spectrum in which you resonate with is important. And allowing this to push whatever out can be helpful. And this may take many times in order to practice and do this.
It's similar to how the chakras each have a corresponding color.
Yes, you could say that.
Do many things follow these patterns of colors or frequencies, sound, all of that?
Yes. Any type of material or frequency can be used in order to clear these attachments. And we do not want you to get caught up in one specific mode of removal, because that might not be the best case scenario for what you are dealing with. And so we will bring it back to building your foundation. Many of where you are right now are, we will say, lost in the sauce of what is happening. You are caught up in the stories and the rhetoric that is surrounding your experience. And so starting with a foundation is important, especially with new abilities coming online. Practicing different forms of protection in order to know when things are off and getting in tune with your energy. Something that may be beneficial for others, as many are empathic in nature, pick up on others' energies and carry it as their own, is to call back your energy and to dispel any energy that is not yours in nature, returning to sender, if you will. And allowing that, taking a moment before doing this to assess where your body is. Returning to sender all energy that you have picked up throughout your day. Taking a moment and allowing that to cleanse and clear. And then reassessing how you feel. Many will notice a slight shift. And this is the beginning of working with your energy. It is important to get in tune with your own energy in order to know how to clear and what to do with it. And that's where we will say that you should start. We know the topic of attachments can be daunting and scary to some, but we want you to know not to fear. This is just information for your future, but starting with the foundation is important.
And so once you begin clearing these things from your field that don't belong there any longer, what you mentioned afterwards, what would we do afterwards? What is the process and why is that important?
After you clear these debris or things from your field, imagining or calling in the highest level of protection would be important moving forward. So these attachments do not reattach themselves. And this can look different per person as well. Not all can feel energy or see energy. There are different ways in which people process information. And so we do not want you to get stuck in, I need to feel this, I need to imagine this. Getting in tune with who you are and discernment for yourself is important. And it is important because this is how you are going to find the protections and the clearings that work best for you. This is a baseline that we are putting out there in order for your own research and discovery of self.
And is there anything else that is important to know or understand about attachments?
They take many forms. There are some that attach to the physical body and can cause many ailments within the body. Sometimes the things you think are physical in nature are not. They can take on a quality of blocking your own abilities, blocking your psychic sight, your feeling, your energy in general. They can take on the form of attaching to your energy structure outside of your physical body. There are many different ways in which these attachments can show up. And so making sure you can tune into your own energy and assess where you're at. Sometimes you will learn your energy and then you will learn that you have attachments there as well. And so you do not know your truest form of energy, but we will say and want you to know that your guides and higher self are guiding you to this knowing. And so trusting that you will have the information in divine timing is important as well.
I know we've run into that as well, where we think we are clear, and to find out that that clear energy is actually not the clearest form of energy. So thank you for speaking on that. Is there anything else about attachments you want to say while we're on this topic?
Yes. One thing is you are very keen to know is that your mind can make attachments worse than they actually are. This is why we say, do not fear what we are saying about attachments, as the fear creates the stories in your mind. And your mind plays a big role in the ability for these attachments to stay or to even mimic what the attachment may look like. And so taking stock of your mind and grounding and being present is important.
And is there anything else we need to know about this, or that would be helpful to know?
Trusting yourself in the moment that you are clearing. Doubt can be a powerful energy. And so trusting in your ability and the things you are guided to use and what you are guided to do can be beneficial.
And it will be different for everyone?
That is correct.
And as we close out this topic, is there another major topic you would like to speak on today?
Yes. As you are clearing these things and learning your own energy and the frequency of your earth is shifting, you will notice intolerances to things in which you once were able to use.
Can you speak further on that?
Yes. As your energy shifts, so does your physical body follow. And this will happen in time for some, and for some it will happen rapidly. One day you will be able to consume certain things, certain foods, and the next your body will repel them. And they will continue to repel them. And knowing that nothing is wrong, but that there are many different realities running parallel and similar to your own. And in your space and time, this would be called timeline jumping. Ones in which a higher frequency or a choice is made, and you go to a different timeline. This is the easiest way to explain this for your current language.
Can you speak more on timeline jumping and what that means, how that changes the physical body?
Yes. Hold on there. I think they're trying to give me an image of this. Okay. You're showing me an image of a person with an attachment. And once this attachment is removed by the individual, it's a conscious choice that it is removed. It's almost as if the removal of this attachment is an activation of sorts for their own energy. And when their energy shifts to something different or a different timeline, their physical body also has to shift. And it's not something that you're consciously aware of that's happening in the moment. This jumping of timelines. It just kind of happens to where you with the attachment is on a timeline that is specific to the outcome if you were to remain with that attachment. And when you remove that attachment, it activates this new beingness. It's almost like a charging. I see like a charging of energy, like it's different. And so you're no longer compatible with the path that you're on. And so energetically and physically, you are now a different person.
That makes sense.
And so your reality shifts, but you are not quite aware that your reality is shifting consciously.
Mm-hmm.
You may feel different, and everything may look the same, but there's little shifts that are happening, and you have new access to energy sources that you once did not. So it's almost like this, like they're showing me like a battery that is dead, and you like put it in and it's charging.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like new ability, new things are coming out. Because with this charged battery, you're able to put it into all of these things, which now you have access to all these different things. Does that make sense?
It does. Well, I know humans tend to be scared of change. And because of this, speaking of jumping timelines and shifting the path that they're on, how do we know that this is of benefit to us, this change that we would be enacting ourselves, the changing of our path and our trajectory? What do we need to know about that?
What is interesting is that there are individuals who are aware of what is happening. They can see the outcome, they can feel the outcome, and they are tapped into their psychic knowing in this way. But there are many who are not aware of the trajectory of their own lives and the trajectory of the choices that they make. We will say to try not to get caught up in the story that you tell yourself about the direction in which you are going, and try not to overanalyze the choices in which you make, because this is also getting into the mind. This mind cycle that is not beneficial for anyone. We know there are many that like to overanalyze everything in their life, every detail, to make sure they're making the most correct and highest choice. And it is important to lighten up a little, as you do not need to white knuckle your way through this reality. You have come here for a purpose, and it is okay to surrender into the flow in which life is bringing you. There are many aspects of individuals that need to be healed in this space and time.
And so, speaking on the things that we're no longer compatible with, can you explain why that shift happens and what that means for the physical body?
There are many different substances within your realm that are not of the highest frequency. Ones in which were created with a, we will say, not the highest energy frequency. And so when you are transitioning to a different life path or timeline, we will say, you become incompatible with those lower level frequencies.
Couldn't we, I know we've talked about this before, bless the food or drink that we are having, and wouldn't that negate that lower vibrational frequency? Or is it different now?
For some, this will work. And for others, it will not. And the reason why that is the energetic difference between each individual and their past soul history of the use of these objects and different. We're getting a lot of pictures today. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
they're showing me like an individual who uses, say, alcohol or drugs for the purpose of escapism. They've never quite known how to use these substances in a way that is of benefit for them. It's always been used as a way of escape and to kind of drown out their reality. And I think that they're trying to say for those individuals, when they, say, do their work and like remove attachments or have these energy upgrades, that it becomes incompatible because they've never known, it's never been used for a higher purpose, if that makes sense.
For like joy or fun.
Right. And so I don't know if that's why it's incompatible moving forward. Because I feel like it's almost like this soul imprint of this drug and alcohol that they're trying to show me that this person is using. It almost imprints on their experience as that.
Is there a way to clear this residual imprint for those who have used things for their detriment rather than their benefit?
Yes, there is. Incompatibility with certain substances, when on different timelines, for some, comes with an agreement in that timeline that is not going to be used any further, as it then brings them back down to the energetic frequency in which they were before. And so their physical body, as they have transcended these experiences and transcended that frequency, it is no longer of benefit to go back.
And so people will know this compatibility with substances or incompatibility as they move along. They can recognize this is just part of these shifts that they'll be going through.
Yes, it will become apparent on your journey what works and what does not.
How do you know the difference between, let's say it's a developed food allergy versus the incompatibility? Is there a way to tell the difference?
There will be an energy signature in which you pick up on that will let you know if it is an incompatibility or an allergy. Many times they are presenting as a similar thing. You could say that now that you have transcended these experiences, that this allergy has come to be because it is no longer compatible. This is essentially what allergies are, incompatibilities with the physical body as well as the energy body. You could look at them one in the same. But there will be an inherent knowing of why this substance is no longer of use to you, as it will be very shocking to the system, one in which will have you questioning what is going on.
And is there anything else you want to speak about on the topic of timeline jumping and substances, compatibilities?
It is not something to overthink as well. This is something that your energetic structure naturally does. It is not one in which you can think your way into or out of. And so we give you this information purely as information. ones in which will resonate with those who are going through it at this time. There are many shifts in these changes that you will notice. The individuals within your reality may also shift with time as well. And we will say, let that happen, as hard as that may be. And try not to get hung up on what you want the outcome to be.
Well, I know you speak on enjoying the human aspect of being human, and yet if we take some of those things away that do allow us to experience the different aspects of being human, is there something that you can say about that to make that more understandable?
For many of you, it did not make you human. For many of you, it drowned the sorrow and the grief and all of the things in which were hard for you to handle. Made you less human as you wanted to disconnect from the world around you and not be a part of that. It helped soften the edges of the difficulties in which you had been in. And there are other options within your reality now that can make you feel more human and more in line with joy. And so it may be hard to come to terms with a reality that is fading and shifting away. And you may want to hold on to that for dear life. But that is not of benefit to you any longer. And it is okay to grieve that. But know that the timelines in which you are moving into are more fulfilling and soulful than you can ever imagine. And the new ways of being human that come to your senses will delight you with joy more than you have been before.
And as we're coming to the end of this topic, is there anything else you want to say about it?
You all should be proud of yourselves for how far you have come and all that you have dealt with. And taking time to rest in that knowing of how far you have come. And some may say that I am not worthy of that, and we will say, yes, you are.
Thank you.
Thank you.